Alright, we're here. Now Trins knows we're here. We've got some testing to do. So, first thing we're doing is checking out this reactor. Because we need to get this bad boy on and moving, making us some stuff. So, it should, when I hit this, not go boom. Well, it's getting steam nicely. Alright. Hot coolant's going where it's supposed to go. Cool coolant's going where it's supposed to go. Distilled water is running well. Now, we're definitely going to have to do something about this because right now we're just sucking distilled water off of the turbine, so that's a terrible way of doing this because if something happens and this is not running while this needs to be running, because this is basically like a trickle charger is what I would say. It's going to be like an RTG. It's just going to sit here and run all the fucking time and give us little bits of power over time is the idea of that, where this is going to boost on and boost our power. But now we should be at, now that we've got these tested out, now I do want to show the other thing you did, which is we can now switch these and make them switch opposite. So if you don't think you have it the right way, you can give it a whack and it'll instantly switch it between the two. We still have to come up with something for doing this, which I think what would be perfect for this, I don't think it would work for anything else, but specifically for this one, if you can have a separate over thing, is an in and out, have an arrow. Instead of having the full X, just have an arrow that's going the direction that the fluid is going. So you'd only have like the bottom half of the X on this one and the top half on that one. Make sense?
Maybe, but they're both outputs, so not sure how that makes sense.
Oh, fuck, you're right. I'm an idiot. You're right. You would actually have to color code them. And you can't really do that because one's... I was going to say cold and hot, but do you assume that... Not assume, but do you relate steam with hot? Like, these have colors on them. So, cold coolant shared is the blue, and red is what's going into there. So for this one, you could actually color code those two. And I don't want to use the blue and orange crap that everybody steals from thermal, which wouldn't work for this anyways, because this, like you said, is two outputs.
Honestly, you'd probably need a whole new system overlay just to account for this, so that it could be more useful for other things too, rather than trying to figure out some temporary...
Yeah, you need something that says primary and secondary. For Greg, the way he does it in GT6 is it changes by the setting you have this set to. So if this is on wrench, it only shows the setting that you're going to be changing. And so if you have it on alternate wrench, than it's going to be for the other one. The issue here lies in I can't remember which one does which because it's not in the tooltip. In Greg's tooltips, it says wrench does this, monkey wrench does this, screwdriver does this. And so it's easy to remember. And if you can't remember, you just, look up what it is you're fucking doing. And it says wrench will change primary, monkey wrench will change secondary. And then the only thing you have to remember is the primary is the steam output. So it should be pretty intuitive for most people. If your primary is your steam, primary is your wrench. Your main wrench is your main output. And your alternate would be your secondary. So that would be the cold coolant output. So maybe if we went to that system, it would make it a little bit easier if the wrench only shows the output for whatever it's going to be changing. And now that you have that it'll automatically switch the two, then that makes it a little bit better for the doing that system, because you don't need to know where the other one is. You only need to know that I want this one here, so switch to here. And then if that one is here, it's going to automatically shift it over to that one. And then I, switch my tool and go, okay, well, that one's now over there and I want it over here, so I'll just turn it over here. I think that would be a better system. We still ought to get it more coolant in here. It doesn't need it. It's got plenty, but I still ought to. We also need to get a shut off on this. I don't think it's going to be necessary, but there is a slim chance that if something happens and this battery box gets full for whatever reason, for some reason most of the factories shut down and we have a bunch of stuff come in from the distillation towers or something that all gets used up, we need a way to shut this off if we're full of power. So I'm going to have to do some redstone work to get our redstone signal from here over here and put it onto the reactor, which we need to make sure that the reactor can take one of those. Can you make me a controller?
Yeah, and also, by the way, you might also want to add like a controller just to make sure, like if the still mark is too low to shut off so that it doesn't blow up.
Yeah, we should also put it on the distilled water thing. But I want to put, we have down here, downstairs here, we have a distilled water tank because we have multiple things in here that is putting out distilled water. So we have 864 buckets right here that has been coming from that and other places. So I basically want to put a pipe in that leads from it up there and have it as the main fill for that drum, instead of it coming off of the turbine. The turbine was just a quick fix idea. Yeah, I was hoping I actually had a controller sitting in here, but I don't. Alright, while he's getting that made, the changelog for the week for GT5R is remove rods, bolts, and screws from rubbers and epoxy resin added a recipe to recycle carbon mesh to carbon dust. So if for some reason you make your carbon mesh and you don't need it, you can throw it in the macerator and turn it into carbon dust. Now, we actually have a carbon plate. What is this carbon plate used for? Oh, you use the carbon plate instead of... Wait a minute, you use a carbon plate in a solar panel? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. And you can't apparently smelt it down. Or you can't macerate it down. But you can smelt it down to molten carbon. Which...
Yeah, so
you can't do shit with. You can't turn it back into an ingot to turn into a dust. So you kind of need to fix that.
this molten carbon you can actually turn into a plate, and you can kind of... I need to fix it because you can turn one carbon dust into 144 molten carbon, turn that into one plate.
Yeah. Because you do have molten carbon currently being used with helium in the fusion reactor to make oxygen. Which I remember there being some weird recipes like that in the fusion reactor in GT5.
Why would you even do that? Like, seems like
the reason for doing that is because of the output of power. It's not for generating the oxygen. It's just for getting the power.
Yeah.
Some fusion recipes are for the material. Some of them are for power. And apparently, in the fusion system you have in here currently, everything comes out power from the reactor. It doesn't come out as a plasma. In GT5 and GT5U, everything came out as a plasma, and then you ran that through a plasma generator, which then cooled it off to the molten version.
Actually, it doesn't technically come out as energy. I think, if I remember correctly, I made it so that it comes out as superheated steam.
Well, it doesn't show that on here. Which is a better way of doing it, to be honest. Because that is what you get out of... So this is the total it needs to run. And this is... Okay, I think I'm understanding your thing here. So this is the startup cost. This is how much input it needs to keep the cycle running every tick. And this is the total EU it's going to take across all 64 ticks that recipe runs. So then you need to make sure, if it's supposed to be a power generation recipe, which this is not because this is titanium, you need to make sure that the total output exceeds this total input. Because the idea is that the start gets whittled down over time, and this is supposed to be ran non-stop. So you have to keep it with the inputs. So if we look at the classic deuterium and tritium is the classic recipe that makes helium. it's 400,000 EU that goes in. You need 8K to keep it running. And this one says heat units instead of EU.
Basically, that's an output. It makes 8192 units per tick.
Oh, that's input, not
internally.
input. Oh, that's output, not input.
Yeah, it makes 8192 heat units per tick internally, and if you input water, I think it turns it to uses that heat unit to turn superheat steam. So basically, the higher the heat units, the more water turns into steam. Basically.
But it also should take power to run every. You have to power the
no, you don't.
System.
No, you don't have to. It's just start you.
No, that's how fusion actually works. Because there's a laser containment that compresses the two things together that makes them fuse. The start is just generating that plasma. Then you have to have more power going in. That's why fusion is not something we use for power currently, because they can't make it a net positive. It's always a negative right now because of how much power has to go in it constantly to make the fusion reaction happen. And there's too much loss getting the power out, converting it back, and then rerunning the system again. So it needs to take power endlessly over time. Just we're going to have it to where it's not a loss.
Well, if I remember correctly, XR had said that you just need to start you in GT6, so that's where I based this up, I think.
GT6, you have to give it power all the time. I'll show you. I'll find the video for the fusion reactor. Dun, dun, dun. This is the multi-block build, but this isn't really going to... It's neither. It's Christmas Eve for us. It's the night before Christmas Eve. Okay, that's the build video. And I think it should tell you, but it may not show us running it. Where in the fuck is all the rest of the videos? Why is it... It's not showing me the live streams I did running the actual fusion reactor. When we get done, I will go into GT6. I think I still have that world, and I'll show you, but I can show you the recipes too, but it definitely eats power the whole time. In GT6 and in GT5 and GT2, 3, 4. You have to have energy acceptors, and then GT6 you have an energy output, and in the other ones you have fluid that comes out that then makes you power. So if you're putting out steam directly, yours is going to be different from all of them. What do you mean this looks like
really.
GT6? What I'm looking at right now looks like a lot of GT5. These look like GT5 machines, not GT6. The barrels up there look like GT6. And the pipes could be either GT5 or GT6. But this is a mix of GT5 and GT6, but more GT5. Oh, hey, my controllers. Thank you.
But yeah, honestly, Fusion is really testing it anyway, so we're good to go for it when we get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a lot of testing stuff we'll have to do when we get to it, and I'm sure it'll have lots and lots of revisions as well. I like the colors, but it only goes to IV plus right. Okay, hold on. This is not GT5 New Horizons, and this is not GT5U. This goes to EV for most things. IV machines should not fucking exist. That's retarded. Okay, putting it on there instantly turns it off. So that's good. And then that will turn it back on, so the controller does work on it. Alright, so that tells us what we need. So then I can come on here and get some work done and set this. Yes, you can do multi-blocks past EV, but not single blocks. Single block machines should not go past fucking EV. That's just dumb. Something we got rid of here.
Yeah,
unless it's a specific one-off machine that it needs to be that. Most of them are only up to EV. Anything past that, you're making multi-blocks. Which, speaking of, you can get back to building this big monster, because we should have enough titanium now. Which, speaking of, I want to start cooking some more of, because I stopped cooking it for a while, because we ran out of power. I want to get a bigger reactor built that's going to start using uranium. I'm not ready for uranium-235 yet, because that shit's critical. But 238 I can use, and I should be safer with it. 235 and plutonium scares the shit out of me. Because redstone can always fuck up in Minecraft. And if my timer fucks up, or the redstone just stops working, it's going to blow everything up. And I don't want it blowing up because there's a bug in the fucking game. If it blows up because I fuck something up, I'm okay with that. But if it blows up because Minecraft is retarded, that's going to piss me off. And messing with critical fuels always scares the shit out of me. Unless I can make them perfectly safe without having to do redstone timing. All right, so rest of the changelog. Made small heat exchanger actually able to process multiple recipes at a time if its heat rate would allow it, which is what we just tested. Made it possible to switch the secondary and primary output on it, which we just tested. Remove PVC foil and other rubber rings that were not needed. He removed that stupid charcoal pit that was from GT5U because that thing was retarded. And we have the coke ovens from GT6, so those charcoal pits are really needed. Though there are a few people that like that kind of shit because they can get ass tons of freaking charcoal all at one time. But I would prefer to do something more like TFC. If you want to make a charcoal pit, make it properly, where you just bury the fucking logs in the ground and throw a torch on top of it, it lights it on fire, cover it up and let it fucking sit there and smolder until it turns to charcoal. I don't like the stupid bronze igniter thing that you don't have to interact with. It doesn't need anything to make the fire. You don't even have to have a lever on the fucker to activate it. I hated that thing. It was dumb.
Yeah, really, the only reason to put charcoal igniter even exists is just to make it easy to do the multi-block, I guess. The only reason I can think of it even did it. Otherwise, you had better do something like forestry or TFC than that.
Yeah. And even forestry's way of doing it's better than fucking GT5U's way of doing it, to be honest. With their log pile things that you had to craft, I think it was. I didn't do theirs very much. I did a lot of TFC. Fixed durability of soft hammers. Why in the hell is this trying to give me ads? We're not supposed to have ads on YouTube. Not until after the stream. Monetization. Insert manually. Thank you. Fuck you. Good night. What am I doing? Being pissed off at assholes that
Hello, motherfucker.
bitch about my grammar. Testing, asshole. Can you not read the fucking chat? Can you not read the description or the title? Testing. Okay, wood soft hammer is 192. Okay. Well, since I'm trying to do it, Dan, how about just for once you try something? I know this is a radical idea. I'm sure this has never crossed your mind. How about shut the fuck up? You use the 2 eyes that God gave you and the 2 ears God gave you instead of the 1 mouth God gave you, and watch and see, listen, rather than talking. I'm in the middle of trying to tell you what I'm trying to do. I can't do so if I'm having to tell you what I'm trying to do. Do you see how asking me stupid fucking questions is counterproductive to what I'm trying to do here? You may hear a weird electrical sound in the background, but no, that is not an electrical dildo. It's an electrolyzer. Okay, so wood soft hammer, 192. A rubber soft hammer, 1024. Epoxy is 256. Plastic is 2048. Polyvinyl chloride is the same. The synthetic rubber is 1536, which is a little bit better than the rubber, but not as good as the plastics. And silicone rubber is exactly the same as the regular rubber. All right, I can get down with that. That is not bad at all.
Yeah,
now,
epoxy,
stupid question. I know we don't have IE in this. Well, we do have IE in 118, if I remember correctly. We don't have it in here. Do we have treated wood in this?
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I think don't.
Because I was going to say, you could also have a treated wood. That's something Greg did in GT6, was he added a treated wood hammer and treated wood pipes, which if you took the time to retreat your wood in the creosote, they got a little bit more durability to them.
Yeah, I have thought about if should I treat wood or not. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Wood I really used to creosote. But
Why do you people like to put IE in everything? We don't have IE in here. And technically, treated wood came from Railcraft originally. They had impregnated wood. So technically, it came from there before IE. And it's not that we're wanting to inject IE into the project. It's compatibility. Everything GregTech should have compatibility with other mods. Even if you don't like those mods. Like Greg has compatibility with Tinkers. Even though Greg is not a big fan of Tinkers because of the argument years ago with the guy that made the mod. But if you want to make an Ardite frickin' pickaxe with GT6, you can do so. It's a tier 0 that has very little durability and will break in about 3 hits. But you can still make one. Including that crappy Magnalium or whatever. No, it's not Magnalium. What is the name of the fucking fantasy bullshit Ardite Cobalt mixture in Tinkers? You can make one of them too, and it's also crap. Instead of being the best ever.
is it Manual you're thinking of?
Yeah, that shit. But no, we don't have IE in here. And the reason why we like IE is because, one, it's party. It's the antithesis of GregTech. It's party. But originally, IE worked with EU or RF. You could mix and match in 1.7.10. So you could actually use your IC2 or GregTech stuff to power IE. And you could also make that big, fancy looking diesel generator and pump it full of diesel that you made in your distillation tower and use those to make you power that would then go back and run your GregTech stuff. Okay. Do we have any more Let's see. Fixed durability of soft hammers, and that's it. There has been a GT4R update. I will do that separately when I work out the whole server issue, because I tried moving the server again to my computer because the server's down currently, and it fucking unexpected error halfway through moving. So, well, 3/4 of the way through moving. So I got to deal with getting that moved over. I may just do the same thing I did last time for this server, which is just move the world over and then rebuild the fucking server files itself manually. Because
it makes me think that something is wrong with your drive if the second time it's done that.
Well, I'm trying to copy the entire file without zipping it. I'm just copying the whole folder. And so it says it's going to take like 8 hours. And I don't have it in my computer. I have it on the streaming computer or the recording computer that Junior and I use, which is 2 generations older than what our current computers are. Technically, it's almost 3 older than mine, 2 older than Junior's. It's a really old computer. And so it's slow as dog shit. When I go to move the folder to my computer, it says it's going to take 8 hours. It only ends up taking about an hour, but its estimate is like 8 hours to do it. I'm guessing it has something to do with how old that fucking computer and how slow it is and how many files I'm trying to move instead of just doing one zip. But I would have to put, WinRAR or something like that on there, and I'm lazy. Bye, Tomas. All right, so that's the testing for this week. You've got building to do upstairs. And I want to get the distillation towers on. So I need to work on... Actually, I want to do... Can you make me that pump thing? The regulator. Can you make me a fluid regulator? Configurable up to 32 liters a tick, 128 liters a tick, 512 liters a tick. Okay. So if we're doing nitro diesel, which is 1 liter, and we're burning it in here. Supplies. Flammable fuel and 1,000 liters of... see, that's... Do I have to math to figure out how much this is? I have to math to figure this out, don't I? You're going to make me fucking math. Can you math for me? How much nitro diesel has to go into the combustion engine when it's boosted per tick to run? It produces 6144 at 150% efficiency. So you'd have to do EU per liter is 512. So you'd have to multiply that by 150, right? 150%.
Well, the way to figure out how much the fuel to consume is it's 4,096 divided by the active recipes power. So that means 4,096 divided by 512 is how much it'll consume.
the boosted production is 6144.
Yeah, but it consumes the amount and used for it to make 4096, but it makes 6144.
Okay, but it says default is 2048, not 4096.
Yeah, the default, it's 2048 divided by active recipes power.
So you're saying divide 2048 by 512.
To get for unboosted and 4096.
Which would be 4.
To get,
so then you're saying the same amount of fuel with the 40 liters of oxygen gives you your 150%. It's not burning the fuel any faster.
It burns double as fast, but gives 3 times the power, basically.
Okay, so
8 per tick.
Okay, what regulator do I need to get to regulate nitro diesel into this combustion engine? Is the LV one enough that's 32? Because I'm only needing 4 by what you're saying. But if you're saying it's doing it twice, that would mean 8.
Yeah, it seems 8 per tick.
Okay, so then I just need an LV regulator to regulate nitro diesel in here at 8 per tick. So it'll only put it in there if we have 8. And then we'd have to figure out the other ones to go along with that. Because what we need to get rid of is this benzene. We need to get rid of benzene. And it's technically, I don't need to put it in there. Let's look and see. Benzene. 288 EU per liter. That's actually pretty damn good. I didn't think benzene was that good. But I could technically burn that off in one of these because we're not going to be having it all the time. I just figured this would help to get rid of some oxygen if we ran it in there. But I could just run it into the same system that I'm running everything else into down here. Which I guess I kind of need to fix that system, I think. Let's see. Why is methane full? Why are we full of methane? That is annoying me. And I bet it's that whole 1 liter bullshit again is why we're full. Yes, because we have 1 liter of propene stuck in the fucking thing. I hate that shit.
Because it's 1 liter, you can't divide 1 liter. It doesn't have 100% efficiency, so we can't use that.
But it would be easily fixed if it just puts that 1 liter, it burns 1 liter, creates whatever it's supposed to create, and puts it into the buffer. See what I'm saying? Then you wouldn't have this 1 liter bullshit. The machine has a buffer of 2048K. So whatever comes in here should be burned up. If there's room in the buffer for 1 liter's efficiency, it should burn it and put it into the buffer. And then output from that buffer. And then we wouldn't have this issue of there being 1 liter stuck in the machine. Because most of these things we have down here, we don't produce at an amount that we can burn them like all the fucking time. We don't have a constant supply, so having one for every one is wasteful material-wise. Okay, there's our benzene, which is right next to this one. That is going into here with the propene. That's where the propene is coming in. Now, this is actually our non-opal pipe there. Which, why is there not a... There should be a shutter on that. Why is there no shutter on that? There needs to be a shutter on that. I'm amazed that didn't get fucked up before. Looks like the GT5 you had on the server. That's kind of the idea. It's supposed to give you a GT5 feel, fucker. I put together what I could remember from the stamina and thirst system. Why do you have to remember this shit? So I need 4 iron plates. You need to start recording what I tell you. You don't have to remember. Take notes.
By the way, Bear, figured out what's wrong with GT Spartan bringing their Spartan recipes. It seems like it's a weird issue I recently found. Is that if you add a mod after adding a data pack of some sort, like the mod resources get loaded after the data pack, it seems, or something. So I had to make a fix to work around it. Because like I found that if I went to a new world, this issue didn't happen.
Okay. By the way, did I tell you that Treasure wants you to do extra work? He wants you to, when you port over to 119, so we can start on the IC2 compatibility and the hard mode stuff, he wants you to port to 120. That way there's a decent version of quote-unquote GregTech in 120.
I mean, I'd like to be in 122, but I'd like to rewrite it together and then port to that.
Now, to be fair, which this is probably not going to amaze you in the slightest, at this point, I'm all for going straight to 120 and skipping 119 completely. Because I don't have the same hard-on for being compatible with IC2 Classic as you do, and I understand why you do. Don't get me wrong. You have add-ons for IC2 Classic. It makes perfect sense that you would want your projects to be compatible with each other. I haven't done shit with IC2 Classic in so fucking long that I really don't give a shit. Because I can't stand that refinery thing he did, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Output only, yes.
Very good. I thought that part of my mind just skipped 119, but I don't know. Thought.
The reason why I say 120 is because of the fact that there are a lot. That seems to be the new go-to. Like, most people aren't going to 121 right now. Everybody's kind of paused at 120. And so that seems like it's going to be the next 710, 112. So I just think it would be...
Like, I don't believe that yet. It's like in 6 months they'll say that 121 is the new 1.7, and then a year later they'll say 122. And
oh, I don't disagree with you. This bar will move forever. But it just seems like currently it's where everybody is holding at. And so if you want to be compatible with... But again, we need to get it done before we worry about compatibility with anybody. So going to not 119 might be a better choice, just so we have a place to hide, for lack of a better word. Just a place to kind of hide out and get shit done before we go to 120, because we don't want people trying to send this shit into weird places it doesn't belong, and then bitching because everything's broke. You'll have a lot more headaches.
Oh yeah, I know. But if I was 120 already, like some of the guys that I'm on the mods definitely open to like adding this in, because like I know one of the mod pack makers there, and they're like, so I know they probably want to do it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And like they tried that with GTCU too. Like, apparently didn't work out too well.
And see, me being a selfish cunt, I would want it in 120 as well, because 120 is the current one that I am playing with. With that IV pack, Industrial Village pack that we're doing. And so I'm learning a lot of the mods that are in that version. And so if I wanted to make something in that version, if I want to make a pack in a more modern version, which it would be Chubby doing all the fucking work, it would be 120 that I would be doing it in. Although with what I just seen from IE the other day, I don't even know if I want to do that, because it's fucking got issues, and if it's got issues, other ones may as well. I need a fluid detector. I don't know how in the hell IE ended up with the issue they had, but basically the crusher was Minecraft should never allow... They've been doing hoppers for how many levels of Minecraft now? But basically the issue is you had this array of hoppers. This is the top of the crusher in IE. And somehow, I don't know if it's a Minecraft issue with the hopper, because I haven't tested it, or if it's how IE implements the hopper into the multi-block. But when you would stand over here and throw something, there was a chance that what you threw did not get picked up by the hopper. It fell through like a crack between the hoppers and would just float around between the hoppers, which should not be fucking possible. And I don't know if it's an IE issue or if it's a Minecraft issue, but it's seriously stupid that it's happening.
Sounds kind of like something that would happen just from Minecraft.
That's what I think, is it's a fucking Minecraft issue, because IE's been doing this same fucking multi-block since 1.7.10. They're literally just porting the fucking thing across to a new version using the same fucking Forge, functions and Minecraft hooks that they always have. So it should just be a Minecraft issue, but without doing the science, without doing the testing, which I really don't give a fuck to do because I'm not working for them, I don't give a shit. I just know it's retarded, that it's fucking happening, and that would be the one reason why I would understand you not going to 120, is because of, if that is a Minecraft issue, we already have issues with hoppers in this version. You don't want to have to work around more fucking Minecraft bugs, and Minecraft is good with fucking bugs. Who the fuck is pinging me? I modified the jar and disabled all the recipes. You're an idiot. That's what you're telling me. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Why the fuck would you modify the jar to the mod and not just make your own mod that changes the recipes if you don't want to use... That's how they used to do it before you had MindTweaker. You just make a mod that rewrote the fucking recipes. That's how Spiger fixed the recipe in GT2. He didn't go in and hack fucking GT2's code and put in the proper recipe for the machine that had a fucked up recipe somehow. He just wrote a mod that says, if this block fucking exists, this is the recipe you give it. And then I put that in the mod pack with GT2, and voila, it had the right fucking recipe. Why the fuck would you hack into somebody's jar, remove all their recipes, and rewrite them inside their jar? Why not make a add-on that rewrites those recipes? Am I wrong? Is that stupid? Also, semi-illegal, depending on... And it's Galacticraft he's talking about, so I know that it's illegal, because I know damn well that shit is not open source.
Oh, right. I was going to say, another reason I like 119 currently is forestry is on that version currently.
Oh yeah, I forgot forestry did actually sort of come back.
Unless it's recently ported, otherwise, yeah.
Why am I retarded? Shut up, all of you. That was not an open invitation for snark. That's better.
By the way, Bear, do you have any more wooden frames on you?
Always. There's half of what I got.
Thanks.
You do know, Dan, I am not reading that entire fucking book you just wrote, right? That is a Discord thing, fucker.
He was basically saying that one criticism I'll get is that people who say that when it already exists, like, shouldn't make it or something. But I don't really care about what the people say. It's like, so
I got criticism for you. Look at the stream for a second. I don't know why I walked all the fucking way up here to tell you to look at the stream for a second. This is my criticism. When I do this, it should tell me what the setting is on that, so I know what the setting is to set to this one, because I'm forgetful. GT6 thing. When you use a magnifying glass on a thing, it tells you the settings of that thing. Like if I hit this, it shouldn't tell me what's in the fucking tank. It should tell me what's the setting of the cover. Okay. Benzene 864. Okay, so we're still good at the moment. See, that's why I keep nerds like Trends around. He'll read the long, drawn-out bullshit you guys type. If it's much more than ugh or bear's an asshole, I'm not reading it. I'm way too lazy for that. Okay. So we want to do a thing. How do we want to do the thing? Basically, we want to put this on here and have it come down, and we want it to control this. So we need to put the controller somewhere on this pipe. No, we don't want it to control that. Stupid. Don't be dumb. Why you gotta try to be dumb? You don't want to control that. You want to control this. That is telling it that it can't... No, wait a minute. Fuck off, you're a moron. That doesn't get controlled. Over here gets controlled. Fucking hell. If I had half a brain, I'd be dangerous. Okay, we need to go make another shutter. I got this. I'm good. Yeah, I had somebody ask me about GTCEUM the other day in Greg's Discord, and I was like, I refuse to give an opinion on that in this current place. I will hurt feelings, and I don't want to make people cry.
I thought you didn't care, though, if you made people cry.
I do in Greg's Discord, because Greg doesn't like it when I'm mean to people. So out of respect for Greg, not for anybody else, I try not to piss people off too bad in his Discord. Taking anyone's work and modifying it without asking permission is bad. I agree that taking anybody's work, but you can't expect fucking code monkeys to believe that, because they all believe that whatever is wrote in the fucking license is biblical. And if it says, taketh what thou wanteth, and doeth as thou please, that means common courtesy is kicked out the fucking door and nobody gives a shit what you do with it.
I mean, yeah, if it's open source, it's courteous to give credit, but you don't have to do anything like that. You can just...
I know, but I hate it. All right? I fucking hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it. If I don't understand how somebody can put all that work into something and then somebody else come along, take that work, and not even give credit to the person that originally did the fucking work. To me, that is underhanded. Even if it's not explicitly told to you that you're to do so, it's just common fucking decency that, hey, I'm going to put this out, but I didn't do the fucking work. I sprinkled a little bit of seasoning on the top of a really good fucking dinner somebody else made, and that's all I fucking did.
I mean,
okay.
Hold on. Source, just...
Bear got to think. 1 second. Hold your thought. Okay. I need this open if work is disabled. Yes. No. We're going to do this. We're going to try something new. Open if work is enabled. We're going to try your redstone torch thing, because that should make this easier. I don't have redstone torches on me. Why do I not have redstone torches on me? Okay, back to what you were saying. Sorry.
The thing for me that will put open source is to allow people to take, like, just use parts of your code in their own projects and stuff, until if you, for some reason, aren't able to work on it anymore, someone can take it, do it, stuff like that. And there are some licenses that require at least credit.
Okay, well, maybe people are just built different than I am, but if an open source...
I do agree with you that it should at least give credit if you're taking someone else's work.
Now, see, I could be all for an open source project if the open source project was a project that everybody works on. If it's a project that, say, everybody in our Discord wants to work on the project and they all want to add their own little tweaks to it, that is a project that I can see being open source. That way everybody can use it and nobody can claim ownership to anybody else's fucking work. because it's an open source project that anybody can come in, contribute to, take what they need from, and the project as a whole will live or die by those that are contributing to it. Nobody really owns the project. It's a community project. My issue is things like GregTech 6 being open source. Greg may have his own reasons for it, and God love him for whatever those reasons are. But for somebody to take GregTech 6 and rewrite it to a newer version with their own fucking, or port it to a newer version. Okay, better example. That fucking knockoff IC2 mod that to me is illegal. It's not, because it's written. It's a written thing to emulate another mod. They haven't stolen the code. They have stolen the idea of the mod. And in my opinion, they've also stolen the fucking textures to the mod, but that's a whole different thing. Modern industrialization, or whatever the fuck it's called. Which is a knockoff IC2 that runs on RF in 119, 120, whatever. To me, that's bullshit. Because they are building on somebody else's work without any due acknowledgement of where they got it from. And that would be the same thing if Greg, having GT6 open source, somebody was to take GregTech 6, port it over to a newer version, which would be really difficult to do, I'm sure. But if they did so, and then slapped on Trends Tech as the fucking name, you know, you decided you were going to take it and put your fucking name on it, which I know this kind of is counterintuitive of my normal argument of at some point you get farther separated enough that you're not really the original thing anymore. So stop fucking promoting yourself as that thing. But this is if you're literally just taking that code, using that code to either port it or rewrite it in your own code base, but keeping it the same thing. Not adding your own changes to it, not making it a whole new thing. But just making a one-to-one copy to the best of your ability of that original thing. And technically, from what I understand, the way Greg has his license, it's open source fully. You're free to do whatever the fuck you want with it. And I don't understand that, because I know how malicious people are. If I was to use Greg's code in any way, shape, or form, never going to happen, bear don't code. But if I was to use fucking Greg's code in any way, shape, or form, I would ask his permission first. And then I would give him credit for the fact that I did so.
Well, I mean, that's the thing for me, licenses need giving permission ahead of time, and some songs people give credit, it's like, I don't care. But yeah, I think if someone was to take port GregTech and then rename it something under their name, then it'd be kind of not great. Because it's not really their work, you know.
No, nobody has had the cojones to try to port GT6 yet. Nobody's that stupid to try to do that. Okay. So, as of right now, this tank is completely full. This signal is giving out a full signal from what I can tell. I can't tell by looking at it because it doesn't fucking tell me this. But we can make sure by doing this and getting my test meter out, which my test meter is in my inventory, not in my bag. Put in the test meter, we have a full signal. Okay. So if we have a full signal, that means that that is now turned the fuck off, which should be, which it is. So that means we want this set to not what it's currently set at. We want it open if work is disabled. So now benzene can go through here and into here and get burnt the fuck up. And at any time that this gets broke or we run less than full in this tank, it's going to cut the pipe off. Perfect. Except that's not perfect.
Isn't that kind of
Prince, why did that not work? I just found you a bug. When I disconnected the redstone wire and reconnected it, it didn't update the torch. The torch is not changing. But we're still at 864, so we should have... Now see, that made it update. Why did that make it update? That updated it. That did not update it. That updated it. The fuck?
That's weird.
I agree. I'm going to go do an old man break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Modern industrialization is such a bastard at this point. It needs to keep Greg's name out of its mouth. I haven't seen what the hell they've done. I've seen one person play with it for about 30 seconds. And it made me so sick to my stomach that I changed the fucking video off.
Apparently, they're now Neoforge mods instead of Fabric mod.
I still say that whole thing, if not done correctly, is going to fucking kill Minecraft's modded shit. If people don't stop with their fucking hurt feelings bullshit. The fact that we have now Fabric and Forge and Neoforge and different mods picking different sides and going different ways is just going to fucking kill shit.
Well, honestly, I think Forge is not really sure how life Forge is. Like, I haven't really paid attention to it, but it seems most mod pack makers are using Neoforge. A lot of Fabric devs have switched to Neoforge too. So, I'm actually not sure. Neoforge might actually unify this. They're probably in a new platform, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm glad I'm keeping an eye on this. Off. Our drum is empty of distilled water. We still have 3.4 buckets in the heat exchanger, so we're okay. But yeah, what I said about it having a problem once this turns off, and we just kind of had that problem. It just didn't, break.
Yeah, if you just been there a few minutes later, it would have blown up.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was only willing to do it when I was right here close, walking around. Alright, so that's the next thing we're going to work on, is getting this changed over. So basically, this pipe is not going to go into that drum any longer. We're going to run a pipe back from our main tank over here. Unless where are we going to build the big fuck off reactor? Because honestly, I only built this reactor here for convenience. Do I want to leave this reactor here? And do I want to use it just off of what comes out of here? GT5R is going to end at fusion. GT5R should, if Trends picks up the stupid idea Bear came up with, should go a bit past fusion, but not much. Bear came up with a really goofy idea, and I believe Trends is going to try to implement Bear's really weird idea, but I don't know for sure.
What was it? I don't remember.
Making the ultimate battery charger.
No.
Oh, yeah, that. I should put that on my to-do list so I don't forget.
My stupid idea is that I want to take the meme, as y'all call it, that is the ultimate battery from GT5 you and make it actually chargeable. So if you have a no, it's not a New Horizons thing. It's a GT5U thing. They added the ultimate battery, but you couldn't charge it for forever. The idea in this is that it is going to be chargeable, but it's going to take mass amounts of fucking power a tick to do so, and to overcome the whole you can't dump that much power into a battery without it blowing up. It's going to have a special containment multi-block that is actively cooled by liquid nitrogen to keep it cool enough while you're, deadheading mass amounts of power into this single fucking battery. It's just literally a way for mod packs to give you a end game thing to do after fusion and a reason for you to build bunches of fusion reactors to power this fucking battery. That's kind of the idea. Because I've never had a reason to build multiple fusion reactors, because for me, the fusion reactor is the end of the game. Once I have it, I don't need it. Because I'm a progression-based mindset person. If there's no goal past that, then I'm done. Which is why Junior fucking hates playing shit with me like Skyblocks, because once I get through the progression of it and we've unlocked everything, I get bored and I don't want to play it anymore. And it's like, and he's the exact opposite. He will trudge through the progression to get to the part where he has everything unlocked and he can be creative and do all the fun things. For me, the fun is the work that goes into unlocking all the things, figuring out all the puzzles of how do I do, A, B, and C to come up with D. I don't have that creative element in me, especially for Skyblocks, like some people have of, oh, I'm going to make a Roman style villa island set that is connected by bridges and there's going to be greenery everywhere. And it's like, build me a fucking platform I can put machines on and make sure mobs can't spawn on it. I'm good. Make it out of cobblestone is what we can get easily. I don't give a shit about Purdy. I don't give a shit about neoclassical or Romanesque or any of that fucking bullshit. Make it 7 high and give me a glass ceiling. Exactly. My brother.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I don't have a decorative bone in my body.
Yeah, I don't either. And I also don't have a growing part in my... That's going to sound weird to anybody perverted like me. I don't have the ability to grow things in my body either, because everybody in my family has a green thumb. They're great at gardening. They love planting flowers and all that shit. I plant something, it dies before I plant it, I swear. I am horrible. I'm like the antithesis to growing things. If you want it to die, let me look at it. It will die. Junior is like the only thing on this planet that I have gotten to grow successfully. Everything else has just died. I've tried flowers. I've tried trees. They ended up just being sticks sticking out of the ground. I have a black thumb, not a green thumb.
No, I was saying you would have a black thumb then, since...
Mm-hmm. Yes, I successfully raised Junior. He is able to take care of himself and my fat ass. We don't starve to death and we have a roof over our head. That's minimum level of success for me. I'm happy. It's like the other day somebody was talking about giving somebody shit because they weren't successful. I was like, okay, but wait a minute. Where do you judge success? You know, your bar of success must be different than mine, because being rich or being famous is not being successful to me. I don't give a shit about being rich. I don't give a shit about being famous. I give a shit about having people around me that I care about and that care about me, and being able to take care and protect my loved ones. As long as you can do that, you're a success in my book. Maybe that's a low bar, but it's the bar I have. Fancier tombstone? Yeah. You can't read your own tombstone unless you buy it early, so I don't give a shit about the tombstone. I was talking to Junior the other day because my aunt called and said that my grandma, which is like 90 now, fell and broke her arm, and I guess my aunt was talking to my son about, you know, you need to find out what your dad wants done when his time comes. And so Junior came in, and I was like, motherfucker, figure out a way to roll my fat ass into the back of your truck and find the nearest river and roll me out into the fucking river. I'm fine with it. When I'm gone and out of this world, I will be happy when I've been forgotten that I ever existed. You will be the only remnants that I was ever on this planet, and eventually you will die off as well. And everybody can forget I was here. I do not give a shit about fucking being buried and having a memorial to me. It just means somebody's gonna fucking be able to piss on my grave or feel obligated to, you know, tend for it or cry over it. As no. Fuck that shit. What did he say about Neo? I don't know. Trends, what did you say about Neoforge?
Well, I was just saying that it seems like a lot of mod pack makers are using it now, and mod devs are going to it. So are fabric mod devs. So I have no idea if it's going to become a new thing or not, like the main thing, but it might.
Well, I wish them luck, but I just don't like how shit ends up jerking around, basically, and splitting things up. It just seems like everything in the world nowadays is being split by feelings. More and more. Not that they weren't before, because they were, obviously. But it just seems like it's happening more and more often, that people's little bitch feelings are causing splits, and people are fucking whining and crying about this and that, and it's just get the fuck over it already. Unless it's fucking life or death, meant fucking maliciously, and continually meant maliciously. Don't get me wrong here. You can say something in anger. I've done it in my past. I've tried to not do it in a very, very long time. I try to actually use my fucking head and think about what I'm saying when I feel something that is literally meant to hurt somebody. The problem is, most of the things I say, I don't mean to hurt people's feelings. They just get their feelings hurt because it's not said in a nice and polite way. But, yeah, if it's not meant maliciously, don't need to hold a grudge about it. Be a big baby.
No, although I gotta say one thing I'm unsure about Neo4ge's CVW. I'm not sure if CVW is such like a smart guy. If he's that smart.
And from what I understand, the whole Neo4ge thing is over somebody fucking hurt feelings about fucking training.
It's because supposedly Lex is transphobic, that's why.
Exactly,
I think
which
that's why.
Doesn't fucking matter in the end of the day when it comes to if he can do the fucking work. Fucking Blue Sunshine or Sunrise or whatever the cocksucker's name is that does IE. I don't like him on a personal level. I've talked to him. I find him annoying as a person, but he makes a good mod, and I will play the fucking thing, and I will show the fucking thing off. I just won't, go to him if I find a bug in it. Because I know that going to him is going to end up with him being a fucking prick, and I don't want to fucking deal with it. That doesn't mean I shun everything that he's ever fucking done just because I personally think he's a fucking prick. There's been plenty of times that I thought Greg was a fucking prick. Greg has been a fucking prick many times to many people. That doesn't mean I don't like fucking GregTech. I love fucking GregTech. Play it constantly. Helping you make this motherfucker. Doesn't mean that I won't talk to Greg. Doesn't mean I don't have respect for Greg. And doesn't mean I don't have respect for all the work he's put into fucking GregTech just because him and I disagreed once or twice. Or 10 or 20 times. I just don't get holding grudges against people just because you have a slightly different belief than them. As long as he's not maliciously going out of their way to keep them from being happy and living their life, who gives a shit if he doesn't fucking agree with it? I don't fucking agree with it. But that's not going to make me like his project or dislike Neo4ge. If Neo4ge works and it's made by a bunch of fucking tranny-loving freaks, then by God it fucking works, and I'll fucking use it. I don't give a shit what they do in their bedroom. As long as they keep that fucking tranny shit the fuck away from me, I don't give a fuck. Did you ever make this shit burnable? No. You didn't make this shit burnable, you prick.
That's gonna be burned. Did you see it? No.
Yeah, the dust can be burned, but that means I've got to make a damn packager. Because unlike GT6, these don't work like to package shit up manually in the barrel. I can't put a block of it in here. I don't know if you want to, because it'll make the packager almost useless. Greg did it, and we barely ever use a packager or an unpackager in GT6. The packager and the unpackager have a few minor usage, and it could still technically have a use, especially when you get to 119 and you have IC2, because the original use for a packager and a packager and an unpackager was for making the scrap boxes. Greg literally added it so he could make scrap into scrap boxes and then open scrap boxes, because for some reason Greg likes doing this. It's what he does. Anything that he has come in that's useless gets recycled, and if it's I've seen it in his 110 thing that he did, where he basically had everything come into scrap and scrapped it, turned the scrap into scrap boxes, unless it was useful for something else. Then it was sent off to do whatever its useful job was. But everything else would get sent into scrap. The scrap would get made into scrap boxes. It would then get opened, because he talked Spiger into adding a thing to the extractor, where the extractor could open, I think it was the extractor. Tell me if I'm wrong, friends. I do believe the extractor can open scrap boxes and kick out the random thing. Whatever it is, an IC2 Classic that does it. And then everything that comes out of the scrap boxes that's useful, he sends off to be used, and everything that's useless goes right back into the scrap to make more scrap boxes, and it's just an endless loop that he sets up. That's his favorite Rube Goldberg machine, I believe. Like, everything that would come in from a quarry, if it was not usable in the project or would be usable in the future, it went into scrap. And then he would just run through the fucking scrap boxes. So it does technically have that use when we get to the IC2 stuff. But for the most part, a packager and an unpackager have no fucking use if it's not making dust from tiny dusts or small dusts. There's not a whole lot of use for it. Are diamonds burnable? No, diamonds are not burnable. It is too hard to burn. You need way too high of temperature to burn diamonds. Even melting diamonds takes really, really a lot of heat. Is scrap even in 119? Yes. IC2 Classic does have scrap in 119. There's even a generator that creates scrap. Don't bring logic into my block game. Well, too fucking bad.
Oh, by the way, Bear, if you really want to see some dumb stuff by the thermal dev, I can send you a screenshot in Discord of something he said in this channel, the server.
I don't honestly care. But thanks. I don't need extra reasons to like or unlike anybody. Do I want to...
Well, if you don't If you don't want to know, then I won't send you it. But
If you want to send it to me, I don't give a shit, but don't go out of your way, is basically what I'm saying. It's not that I don't want to see it. It's just I don't care if I see it, I guess. Okay, I should be able to take this out now. We should not need that.
basically told people if they didn't vote a certain way, then they're not welcome in the server.
Okay, well, that's dumb. And he's an idiot. That's the same thing as being racist, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the difference is that because of who he said you should vote for, so it's okay.
I don't like the idea of what they're doing. I won't put up with them promoting that bullshit around me. But to keep somebody away just because they're that way, I'm not into that. But, I also think that I buy into the whole it's not a actual issue for 90% of the people out there. It's a fad. It's something people are doing and saying that they are okay with because it is fashionable. Just like it was fashionable to be gay 20 years ago, and before that it was fashionable to be black or Mexican, and there's actually true people out there that have that as an actual problem that they struggle with, and for other people to be identifying as that for whatever reason it is bullshit. It's just like trying to it's just like white guys that act like they're fucking black. You're taking their culture and trying to use it for yourself.
Hey, Bear.
It's their bullshit. Let them have it. Whether it's good or bad bullshit, let them have it. What?
I got you another banner.
I
got you another banner.
You got me another banner. Do we need another fucking banner?
Yes.
This is getting ridiculous. There needs to be a mod that says so many banners collected and they will stop coming around. Craft them into a fucking beacon that makes them not fucking spawn or something. Shit, at this point, we are the death to all pillagers. They shouldn't be coming here. You'd think they'd learn their fucking lesson. Are they that dumb? I'm walking around trying to figure out how I want to do this. I can go in right there. How much of a pain is this going to be? Did you turn phantoms off? Yes. Yes, we turned fucking phantoms off completely on this server. They're fucking stupid and we just turned them the fuck off. We actually have BearCore on here where we could sleep if we wanted to stop them and it wouldn't pass time. It would just stop them from existing, but we just can't be bothered to give a fuck. They're a stupid addition to the game that shouldn't exist, and fuck off. As long as you didn't turn off your brain, we will live to see another day. Motherfucker, that thing's been off for years. Hey, is this built? It's not built.
Almost.
Motherfucker. I was hoping it was built.
You need to make hatches still.
Oh, okay.
That's how I was going out. I was going out to get more wood.
Okay.
When I ran to the villagers.
I came upstairs. My brain is like, I'm on autopilot at the moment. My brain is just doing bear things at the moment. I hate it when my brain does bear things. Okay, so that is coming in and going that way. Which means I'm going to have it come in and go that way. I might have to change this. Can somebody help me remember for a minute? I'm going to have to take a screenshot of this. I'm never going to remember this. Yes, that's a ported GT6 Nether portal. There's a lot of GT6 style things in here. There's also, I believe, right there's the miniature end portal, and there's the miniature twilight portal. We have all three of them. Okay, so I do have open sides. I can do so. If I do so, what the fuck am I going to do with it? It's going to come up here. It's going to go into a barrel probably here. And then send it down to the boiler. Maybe. I don't know what else to do with it other than that. Petroleum coke. Yeah, that's like it's where it's going to have to go. He didn't even put it in as a carbon source for aluminum, which is one of the things I use it for in GT6. But I'm fine with that. Let's make some more titanium, which I need to get the automation for the boiler set. Alright, so let's get this shit started here. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. How soon do you need to head to bed, fucker?
Well, probably soon, I guess.
Alright. Got 20 minutes at least. That I should be able to get this done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess you don't
technically
need to be here while I'm doing this. Unless I find something that's broken.
By the way, for large shift charge, the energy hatch will be done.
Cool. I'll test that next time we're here. Okay, I'm gonna go in there. Alright, motherfuckers, somebody remind me. The pipe is going in from the south to the north. You got that? Don't fucking let me forget, assholes. It's your job. Motherfucker. I can't see that fucking thing to put it there. Do yourself and put down the sign. No, no, no. I'm relying on you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers have to remind me. I'll do it from the other side, I guess. This is why it's important to have a crazy or a Tamra. Women are important for this reason. They'll keep you from being stupid. That reminds me of one of my old things I used to tell people, which is that if it wasn't for women, we'd have never come out of the fucking cave. It's thankful that women bitch about shit like that, because if it wasn't for women, we'd still be living in fucking caves. Yes, I mean advanced past being cavemen. Without some bitch sitting there going, have you seen the must we have in this cave? Can we not live somewhere nicer? If you were a better man, you'd have us a house. I don't know what a house is, but we'd have one. With central heating and central air conditioning, we'd have never gotten out of the fucking cave. We'd come out, we'd beat something in the head that we could eat, and then we'd fuck off back into the damn cave. Okay, so this is the one it's going into. So it went in from the south, out the north, right? That's what I said? In the south,
yeah, I think so.
north. In the south, out the north. Okay, so it's going to be coming out.
Marcus is saying he's trying to confusing.
Yeah, I know you're not paying the fuck attention to me. Alright, so it needs to go there. Now the problem is, I don't remember which one. Wait a minute. It can't be this one. I thought it was this one, but it can't be that one. It has to be this one. Because this one has a pipe coming out here. So it has to be this one. And then it needs to go into this one. Which, holy fuck, how do you get it into this one? Who the fuck did this piping? We've talked about your plumber. Your plumber sucks. Why did I think it was okay to run that right down the side of that one? My guess is that I put this in first, but I don't think so. Okay, so now we need to go into that one. So now we're going in the north to the south. Okay. What the fuck is that noise and why does it keep happening? Okay. So somehow I need to get through to that. So we're going to have to come around this. Unless we go under. We could go under. That is a thing we could do. Let's go under. I'm gonna run out of fucking pipes. Is what's gonna happen here. Motherfucker. Thank you. Okay, so I need 2 more pipes. And I don't have fucking any brass pipes. That's actually foobarred. Dude, it's my piping. Everything I do with pipes is that way. I don't take the time to think. before I pipe, I just run the fucking pipe. I don't think ahead to what other pipes are going to be there. I just run the fucking pipe. I don't plan shit, so it ends up getting quite messy. There's 3 brass there, which will make me a pipe, but that's not enough. We still not get a valve for this thing? Fuck, I thought you were making us a valve. It's still gonna make the noise, but I think it would get it out quicker. The release valve for the gas vent.
Oh, yeah.
For outputting if a pipe is full. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Oh my god, he's writing a book again. Why? Why the book, motherfucker? 1 is to make it an alloy smelter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we have this update when you do that, please? Is that possible? It looks like a fucking screen.
Yeah.
Can it be a screen? When you put that in there, instead of multi-smelter, it says multi-alloy smelter, or it says under it, under inactive or something, alloy setting or something.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Bear too dumb to remember thing. You lie to me. You lie to me, motherfucker. Okay, you didn't lie to me. It didn't update properly. What the fuck? You're on YouTube, right? You back? Oh, you're on Twitch. Fuck. I swear that just screwed up and did the zinc when I had that in there. Can you mark what time it is and go back and check that later before you do updates and see if I fucked that up? There's always a chance I fucked up, but I don't think I fucked that one up. And up there, and we want to set it to, oh, you dirty motherfucker, you're not set on the right setting. Auto output, and as usual, this doesn't have a fucking tooltip to tell me which thing it is I gotta hit it with. Smack that all on the floor. Okay, what is this setting I need here? Screwdriver. Filter resets when empty. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Motherfucker thinks I got a memory. It's fucking wrong. Okay. I feel like a sword with no binding should still function. -2 dexterity debuff or something. We don't have module tools in here. What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about for his mod? He's talking about the...
Oh. Okay. He's talking about what... Can you tell me a quick synopsis of what the fuck he's talking about?
Yeah, 1 second, I'm making a clip of the bug. I think I found it.
And I disagree with you. If you don't have something that binds the fucking sword or axe or shovel together, it should fall the fuck apart. You should not be able to use it if it doesn't have something to hold the shit together. If I take a rock and a stick that's been split at the end, and I stick the rock in between the fucking 2 sides of the stick, and I go to hit something, the rock is going to fly out and hit me in the forehead and knock my dumb ass out. It's not going to work. It needs to have a binding to hold that bitch in there where it belongs. Where am I going? What am I doing? I don't know. I'm doing something. Even if it's wrong. Okay. This time it was south to north. I don't remember. I forgot. You fuckers ain't remembering. You guys are worse than I am with fucking remembering the shit. Had never had a mall fall apart. Okay, you're talking a different thing. You're talking a hammer that is press fit. That's different than an axe or a sword. A axe that is press fit is very different. And I will agree with you on that part. Okay, we're going in this side. So we're going in the south. No, we're going south. We're going in the north, out south. In the north, out south.
Okay, so that bug you found, I love the bug. Seems like, I'm guessing the problem is that the last saves, the last recipe that was run, which would have been syncing it, so it would have.
Sorry, dude. I
once.
was coming through the nether. All I could hear was nether portal noises.
I was thinking, I just made a clip, and it seems like that was a bug. You didn't do something wrong. The direction was a bug there.
Okay. And the good thing is, if you add the thing where it tells you, then you would know that it's in the right thing. Okay. North to south. So it'll be coming out the south side. So then this needs to go into here. Okay. Okay. Hilts for a sword. No. They absolutely do not get riveted on. For a sword, yes, the hilt itself is press fit. So is the pommel a lot of times. A lot of times the pommel is pinged on. I can't remember how you pronounce it. It's hammered. I don't know if I can explain this without a visual. I don't have the words for it. But a sword is different than a tool. If he's using a sword, he's an idiot. We're not talking about swords. Swords are different. We're talking about an axe is what we should be talking about, because that's the first thing he needs to be worried about. Not a fucking sword. He needs an axe. An axe is a versatile tool that can be used as a weapon and can be used to collect resources. Axe is the first thing he should be thinking about. And if he's making an axe, you need to have, if you're making a primitive one, you need a rock, you need a stick, and you need something to lash the rock to said stick. When you get to a hammer, if it is a wooden maul, or most other metal hammers, those are press fit. You drop the head on the handle, and the weight of it going on compresses the wood enough that the metal can slide over it, and then it's tightly fit. A lot of times, then there are shims driven into the wood to make them expand further to fill that cavity that you leave in the metal. But for wood ones, a lot of times, and sometimes even with metal ones, if you have a good quality fit, you don't need shims. but most of the times, especially if it's an industrially made one, you use shims that I don't think they're actually called shims, but they're wedges that you drive into the wood, and it splits the wood just enough that it drives it into a cavity in between. Now, swords are different. Swords, you have the sword blade with the hilt coming, or the tang, sorry, using the wrong word here, that has a narrow tang that should, if it's a properly made sword, run the full length of the handle. Then you have to put something around that tang that you can put on your hand to protect your hand and to make it fuller in your hand, which is where the leather wrap or twine would come in. If it's a very primitive sword, you would just use a leather wrap or a twine wrap to put around there. Trying to use a sword without a fucking handle, which is not the hilt. The hilt is a crossguard thing. You don't need one of them. You can use a sword without that. But you need a handle. Trying to use a sword without a handle would be very unwieldy because it's only going to fit like an inch in your hand. It's going to wobble around a bunch in your hand. It's going to hurt like a son of a bitch because it's, you know, rough edged. It's not rounded. Is pommel... never had them all fall apart. Actually, I take that back. Sword hilts are normally riveted on, aren't they? Is a pommel and a hilt the same thing? And then there are also slip styles that tighten themselves every swing. Yes, there are those. And pommel is just for proper counterweighting. Yes, that's the thing on the... Well, it's not only for proper counterweighting. If that's what Google says, Google is wrong. It is also the way that you hold whatever the material is that you're using for the handle on, so when you swing the sword doesn't go flying out of the fucking handle. The pommel also holds the handle in place. It's not just for proper counterweighting. It can be used for counterweighting, but it is not always used for counterweighting. Correct. Katanas, I don't believe, have pommels. They just have an end cap. You just need something metal there that you can, like I said, I think it's called peening, where you basically hammer the end of the tang to where it mushrooms out over that end cap. And depending on how good you do at doing it, you can either see it or almost not even see that it's been done. That would be somewhat funny. Someone craft the sword wrong. After they swing a few times, the head of the sword just flies off. It's fucking possible. You'd have to put a lot of swing in it and have a hell of a shit grip, to be honest. But it is completely possible. I need to get the other half of this done so I have somewhere for this shit to go. I'm sure it's happened in history and felt really bad. I'm sure it fucking has. Somebody's bought a shit fucking sword and the damn thing's wobbled loose of the fucking handle. I've seen some swords that are built in really shit ways. I wouldn't fucking doubt it. Okay, this comes down right here.
I doubt you want to be carrying that sword when it flies off, because it would probably go into your foot or something, you know, like.
I broke your shit. I hope I'm fixing it correctly.
Yeah.
I like Greg's shit better, or your shit in this case, where I can't break it with the drill. I need a wrench, because I'm too stupid to actually look and see if there's something there.
That's actually an idea I just had. Make it so that A cables require a GT wrench to break instead of a pickaxe.
Fuck! Do we have any asphalt? I may or may not have just blown up a creeper. I take no responsibility.
Yeah, we have a ton of asphalt.
Alright, can you bring me 3 blocks of asphalt, please? I take no responsibility in the stupidity that just occurred out here. Somehow I'm blaming Tamara for this. She wasn't here to tell me not to be stupid, so it was her fault.
Here you go.
Thank you. No, I was trying to hit it with the chainsaw. This is a chainsaw. It should 2-hit it, but the damn thing jumped back too far, because I should be able to 2-hit a creeper with my chainsaw. But because he popped back, and for some reason I fell into dumbass mode of backing up instead of going forward, because normally when I'm playing Minecraft that isn't with a chainsaw, I have to back the fuck up so he doesn't blow up and then go in for the second hit. But in here, I need to charge him because, well, I have a chainsaw and I can 2-hit the motherfucker before he blows the fuck up. And I just kind of forgot what I was playing. That's what happens when you play multiple different versions of the same fucking game with different mods. Or, you know, you're an idiot and don't remember things. You, come here. Let me show him how this is supposed to work. Supposed to be like that. That's how that's supposed to work. No, creepers do not drop 100% of their fucking blocks. That might be a new Minecraft thing, but it is not a 118 Minecraft thing.
Oh no, he's thinking of TNT drops 100%. That's what he's thinking of.
Oh, okay.
And that was like in... I don't remember which version that was now. It's older than 118, I think, that they added it. But nearer than 112, so...
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the sifter is done.
Yay! Now I gotta do what I went out there originally for, which is fixing your fucking cable I broke. And yes, I completely support your idea of making it to where these have to be broke with a fucking wrench instead of a drill.
Of course, I'd probably have to add a config for that so that people don't get upset about it, because
Probably because people will cry. Okay. So I can't go out there, and I technically don't really want to go out there. Guess we're just going to go down here. I need to go get more pipes. I say you implement a mostly useless tool just for it. No.
If anything, I make T-wrenches usable as 8 T-wrenches.
Not a crowbar fan? No. Not a crowbar fan. Though crowbars do have a use if you're using covers. But in GT5, crowbars are pretty much fucking useless. GT6, they're a little more useful. If you're aesthetically giving a fuck, they're kind of useful. Oh, you like the crash sound when you rip off a row of covers? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go through here. She's going to put us roughly... Fuck you. Somebody fucking has to be plumbing shit right through here. This asshole. This asshole got to put everything where it doesn't fucking need to be. And right in my way. Fine, I'll go up a fucking block, you prick. Put it up there. Now you like me now, asshole. Jackass. Alright, look here. Get out of my way. Alright, you are going to come over here. And then you can go into... Please tell me that's the same fucking pipe. Is that the same fucking pipe? I can't fucking tell because there's a million fucking pipes in the fucking way. What the fuck is this pipe for? Why is this here? Who put this here? Oh, wait a minute. All that, I know who put this here. He's an asshole. Okay, so that's not the same fucking pipe. We're not going to be able to go there. But we can go here. We can tap into this. And then we need to figure out where we want to put this shit. And I still say I probably need to do at least a space in between. So this needs to move. That needs to move. So guess what? We're going further. Depending on what Junior and I or Tamara are doing tomorrow, I may come on here just to work on this part. We'll see. Okay, so that over to there. Oh no, you're an asshole. Don't do that. Don't fuck me like that. I'm not into you. What do we got in here? All Coco. Fucking figures. Well, we now have cold Coke. We have no use for it. Thanks. Because you're an idiot and forgot that we're full. Are you not running? Why are you not running? You need to be running. We're going to do that. And how much power we got? We are full the fuck up on power. Holy shit. Trends, a miracle has happened. We are completely fucking full on power. How the hell did this ever happen? And we're running titanium. The blast furnace is actually running. And we're full on power. How the fuck did this happen? The reactor's not on. We're burning benzene, fuel oil, nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. We're burning methane in that. This should be off. Are we really just keeping this running from these two? How's that fucking possible? I don't know. Apparently it is.
Well, I did fix the efficiency recently.
Well, that does help. 8, 1. I'm going to do this manually for the first time. I am not adding a shrink mod, so I can get around. Although it would be very fucking helpful with the way I pipe things. I'm not doing
apparently
it.
It's actually shrinking is kind of part of Minecraft now. I think in 20 or something.
Don't fucking doubt that. Okay.
I think it's commands only currently.
So now we need to turn that on, so it'll start outputting. And if BearCore managed to not fuck up anything, we should be getting those up here, in here. Ha ha. I did that part right. And that means that I should have dust back here in this barrel. Ha ha ha. Bear did a thing and didn't fuck it up. Who would have thunked it? Alright. And then we can set this to auto output. And now it will output and go into here when we need it to go into there to make us power. I need to turn this back on because I will forget that I undid it if I don't do so. Trends needs to go to bed, so we're going to fuck off so he can go to bed. He's got the sifter done. Yes. Sifter's done. So we can test this bad boy out, which apparently has no GUI whatsoever, not even the little screen looking thing, or the slot that most of the multi-blocks don't need. I have no idea why it doesn't have the normal black box thing.
Need to fix that.
Okay. But that means we can hook this bad boy up and start sifting, which means I need to move it somewhere. So we'll rebuild it. Hopefully he has a description on this thing, which he doesn't. Hopefully he'll get that worked out, so I'll know how to build this thing. Not like I came up with a design for it or anything. But I will completely forget what that design was by the time I rebuild it. Just name it Jenny Craig. Yeah. Alright, why were you not running? Are we not burning that benzene off fast enough? It looks like we're not burning off that benzene fast enough.
Well,
That
what if we're full of power, you know?
Yeah. Once we start getting everything running again. But remember, we're also setting up our current projects. We need a current projects list. Our current projects need to be test the multi-block sifter, set up a uranium reactor, and test the large heat exchanger, make a crystallization crucible so we can make sapphires and wafers, so we can make the fuels. And what was the other thing? There was another thing. Get the gas turbine set up to burn off excess hydrogen. That's the other thing. Those are the 5 things that need to be done in the upcoming week or 2 or 6. So, somebody make note of that. Anyways, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. And we will be back next time. Are you going to be here next week? Are we doing anything next week?
He'll probably be here.
Okay. We'll have another update next week. Like I said, depending on what happens with Tamara and I tomorrow, because we're planning on doing some recording tomorrow in the morning. Depending on how that goes and how I feel, I may come back tomorrow night and get some work done on this system over here, because there should be nothing that I have to yell at Trins about. I'm hoping there ends up being nothing I have to yell at Trins about. I don't know if Trins is going to be here or not, but I'm assuming since it's Christmas Eve, he has something better to do than hang out with my old ass. But I want to get this system done to where we burn off this, and this before this. So we're going to put we're going to do a lot of redstone work on this and see if we can get this to prioritize the things that need to be burned off rather than what we're making and we have to go supply. So, that in mind, fuck off, we're out of here. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you next time.